Hey guys, it's Steve Lawson here again. Welcome to the Greenpower Action Group. And I want to give you a quick update and let you know my thoughts on where I believe we currently are within this Greenpower ecosystem. Obviously, many of you may know that I made a video a few weeks ago where I basically went through the whole sorry saga of what happened from 2016 up to 2021 currently, and it was a sorry tale of missed opportunity, of broken promises, of millions of dollars wasted, stolen, possibly fraudulently taken. And I believe that we're now actually getting to the end point of this project. I believe we're now at the point where Michael Mathias has very, very carefully manipulated everybody within the ecosystem and is now crafting his exit strategy from this project so that he can walk away with all of the millions of dollars that he's basically taken from us. So I want to do this in a way that I think makes it self-explanatory to a certain extent, because it's fair to say that there are still a lot of people within this Greenpower community that trust Michael Mathias, that believe everything that he says. You know, they are literally like a kind of cult follower of this guy. It's like he has this fan base of cult followers who just believe everything the guy says, thinks he's amazing and untouchable. But actually, it's completely the reverse. It's completely opposite. And I do feel a lot of sympathy for those people that have, unfortunately, fallen under the spell of this guy, who I believe to be a fraud, to be one of the most dishonest people I've ever come across, certainly within the cryptocurrency space. And I want to get this video out actually to as many cryptocurrency enthusiasts and fans, and I'm going to be sharing this on many different Twitter feeds and on Facebook, and of course on YouTube. And I want people to really wake up to what I believe has been one of the biggest crypto scams since this whole crypto universe kind of became more mainstream. So the way that I can demonstrate this, certainly over the past, let's say the past 12 months, and because I don't want to go back and return to what I've already done with the video that you can see in the background, and I would urge you to go and check out the Greenpower Action Group and go watch my video, and I think you will understand where this project has gone over the past 5 years and where it's ended up. But I'm gonna keep this video as short as I can. It's very difficult to keep these things short because there is so much information that needs to be spoken about. But I think one of the best ways that I can do this is to really go back to the beginning of 2020 and go through the official Greenpower announcements channel, because everything that Michael Mathias has been telling the community, he's put it out there on the public Telegram channel, the official announcements channel. We can go through and we can read through it, and then we can actually start to kind of back test all the information that he's given us. We can see all of the inconsistencies and all of the discrepancies, and to be honest, all of the lies that this guy has been spouting over the past, certainly the past, well, really from the beginning, but certainly over the last 12 to 14 months. I want to go through the Telegram channel with you. I want to show you some extracts from the announcements. I'm not going to go through every single one of them, but I'm going to just show you how this story is unfolding and how I believe we've now got to the point where Michael Mathias is very, very carefully crafting his exit strategy and is now going to put the emphasis back onto the Greenpower community, the people that initially funded this entire project, put millions of dollars into it that have been wasted and thrown away. And I'm going to show you how he's very carefully manipulating facts and changing the story. He does it in a very, very clever way. He's a very good wordsmith. He's very good at crafting sentences and statements And, that's probably his biggest strength. And I'm going to show you now in the Telegram group some of the key elements that I think you need to be aware of and to wake up to. So, because it describes beautifully how he is changing everything as he goes along, buying himself more time, and then eventually creating the scenario where he can put the blame and emphasis back on the community so he can step away, walk away with all the millions of dollars that he's taken from this community and obviously delivered nothing in return. So let's head over to Telegram. So I'm going to just come out of here and we'll get the Telegram group up. So let me see if I can get this a bit bigger. Bear with me. Okay. Let's see now. We don't want that section there. I think that's probably as good as I can get it. So this is going to be a little bit, maybe a bit boring, but I think it's important that you do actually focus on what is being said in these Greenpower announcements. So I'm going to read them for you, okay? And then I'm going to sort of pick out some of the main elements and just talk over it and explain how I think this is all being manipulated, and we'll see it as we go down through the list of announcements. But let's go back to the beginning of 2020. This is this particular announcement was taken back, was written back on the 9th of January 2020, and I'm going to read this through and then we're going to talk about a little bit about it, okay? A quick sip. Right. Okay, so here we go. It says here, Michael Mathias, 9th of the 1st, 2020. Hey everybody, hoping your first days of 2020 have been going well. I am convinced that this is going to be a very strong year for GRN and the entire green community. As I mentioned in my last message, we've had more than our fair share of difficulties over the past 18 months. I have lots to cover today, so I apologize in advance for the lengthy message, but please take the time to read and digest this message. I'm going to cover some extremely important subjects. Now, this is, Michael Mathias getting us prepared. He's going to come up with this statement. So let's have a look. He's broken it down into 4 different headlines. First one is GRN price. He says, let's address this right from the start. I realize that everyone in the community is extremely frustrated with the price of GRN. In my view, there are 2 fundamental reasons why the price is where it is, and I will address both of those reasons in this message. Now, before I read out these reasons, I'm going to just tell you what I think about the reasons why the prices or the price was very, very low at that point, and I'll do it after I've read this next statement. So he says, headline, primed for utility. First of all, let me establish one important point. Utility is going to be the key driver of value. While few would likely dispute this point, utility has been a surprising challenge for almost every cryptocurrency. Many coins were conceived without any thought about how to cultivate utility. This was never the case with our coin. Utility has always been a prime focus from the start, and this is why we built an ecosystem right from the beginning. A very positive event that occurred in May of this past year was the fork that created Greenpower and resulted in a fixed supply of GRN coins. This produced scarcity, which is extremely valuable for Greenpower and sets up the final factor in improving the price of GRN, which is increasing demand for the coin. Very simply, the best route to increase demand for GRN is to build out ways for the coin to be used, and ideally, these would offer advantages over other options. With a fixed supply of coins and increased demand for those coins, the laws of modern economics dictate that the price of the coin will increase. So there you go. There's your statement on utility from Michael Mathias. Now, think about this for a second, okay? Think about this. We're talking about January 2020, okay? We started this project in 2016, 4 years earlier. He talks about giving the coin utility. He talks about our amazing ecosystem. Well, in the 4 years leading up to this statement, we had perhaps one of the most fundamentally important new opportunities to create utility for what was then called Dascoin. We had a company called Carter Worldwide working to create a debit card system that would enable people to be able to spend their cryptocurrency and convert it into fiat, and so they'd be able to use it in the shops. Now, you could not come up with a better system of utility than that, okay? There is no better utility than being able to spend your cryptocurrency, transfer it into fiat, and be able to do that on a debit card anywhere in the world. We had that in our grasp. It was Michael Mathias that basically threw all that out the window. He gave up on the best utility that our currency could have had. He also talks about doing the fork to Greenpower. There was no debate, there was no consultation, there was no vote, there was nothing said to the Greenpower community, this amazing community that he loves so much. Nothing was said. He just made a statement and he forked over to the Green GRN brand of currency, okay? And all he did was basically, he just rebranded the old Dascoin. He didn't do anything particularly important. He just switched it over to a new brand. And he says about, let's have a look. He talks about a fixed supply. Well, the supply is the same as it was before. We still had the same supply. It was fixed previously. So that's just a load of nonsense that he uses to dress up his statements. So let's look at this. We already had a fixed supply, okay? There was no say from the community about whether we should do this and switch from Dascoin to GRN. We had no say whether or not we should continue to follow up with this brilliant idea of creating utility through the Visa card system that was being created. And, you know, we were basically just told we were going to have to accept everything that this guy was doing. So let's move on. Let's have a look at the next reason. Okay, so he says reason number 1 for pricing slump. He says delayed utility. Delayed utility. There have been several operational challenges encountered during the past year, including the transition of prime technology development resources. He uses all these big, highfalutin words to describe very, very basic things, right? Because he likes to confuse people. He likes to, you know, he understands that the vast majority of people in this community have very little idea about cryptocurrency. They are very uneducated in the whole world of crypto and blockchain, and he knows that, and he uses that against them. So he says, let's go back to that. He says, yeah, including the transition of prime technology development resources. Now, we were working on prime technology with Carter Worldwide, with Brian Semke, who he tried to throw under the bus. Those guys worked really hard. They used the funds that we provided Michael Mathias to create the software to give us the utility. But Michael Mathias refused to accept what they were doing. He wouldn't pay the bills. He wouldn't continue on with the project. And he tried to throw those guys under the bus once that all came to an end. And that was Michael's decision. Okay, Michael Mathias made that decision to move away from what would have been amazing utility driver for our Dascoin. Okay, let me go back to this. So he says, and these have had a material impact and led to substantial delays on multiple projects designed to deliver coin utility. Well, it's true, we had various other projects like DAS33. That was going to provide utility. But guess what? He messed that up as well. It was Michael that ruined all that stuff, okay? So he's trying to blame other people for his own mistakes. Right, so he says, so while I fully acknowledge that it's taking longer than expected to build out a critical mass of utility, these projects are underway and several of them will launch in the first half of the year. Okay, bear in mind this is the beginning of 2020, all right? So consequently, the first half of 2020 is positioned to be a time when a meaningful amount of utility will be triggered within the ecosystem. One of the newest examples of his is Goku Market, which will be delivering utility for GRN right from the start of 2020, including providing a way to spend GRN through a MasterCard. There will actually be a number of marketplace offerings scheduled to launch in the first half of the year, including Das Market and a long-awaited discount travel club. I think he made a spelling error there. Another substantial driver of utility will be the blockchain-based affiliate programs to be offered by Oreo, operating its next generation affiliate network. Blockchain technology solves a number of core problems that have plagued the affiliate marketing industry since its inception in the late 1990s, so that industry provides real utility for Greenpower. Early indications are confirming that the improvements of blockchain-based affiliate programs will be very well received by players within the industry. Providing the option of rewarding affiliates with a market-traded global currency like GRN will be another prime way to use to increase utility. Guys, none of that stuff came to fruition. None of it did. Meanwhile, other crypto projects are doing this already. They've overtaken us by now. We're seeing all kinds of different cryptos being used in affiliate programs. This guy talks absolute nonsense. Okay, so let's have a look at reason number 2 for price slump. Zero cost coins. Many within our community are unaware that fraudulent activities have been happening on the periphery that have led to coins being acquired by unscrupulous individuals for no cost. These subversive acts have resulted in tremendous damage being done to our community, both directly and indirectly. Over the past 18 months, our community has been attacked by multiple parties using a variety of methods. Well, it's very interesting that he says that over the past 18 months, and yet here we are in 2020, and he's only telling us this for the first time, and yet it says it's been going on for 18 months. Well, I've been involved in this since 2016, and I didn't see anything going on. I didn't hear about anything going on, and I'm pretty well up there with all of the main players within this community. So that, to me, sounds like another load of hogwash. Okay, so let's keep going. We had another, we still got another announcement on the same day. This is, perhaps this is part of it. He says, today, over the past 18 months, our community has been attacked by multiple parties using a variety of methods. Right. He says, today I will cover just one of these methods, but one that has been particularly prevalent. I refer to it as the swap and dump. Swap. Have I heard that mentioned before somewhere? Swap and dump. Right. Okay. Let's go through this, shall we? Let's go through this. So today, I've just done that bit. He says, some of you may have noticed that there have been several sketchy campaigns circulating around our community, each attempting to poach coins and marketers from among our community. Okay, right. I had absolutely no idea about anything that he's talking about there. He says, have you noticed there have been several sketchy campaigns? Okay. What campaigns? Give us some examples. I don't think he can. He says, each attempting to poach coins and marketers from our... What does he mean by poach coins? Our coins are on the public exchange. Okay, we are a publicly listed token at that point. Okay, on public exchanges. So how are you poaching? You can only sell coins, or give coins to people for some other form of return. Of course, that's utility, right? That's what you want, isn't it? So, he uses these ridiculous phrases. He says, in these schemes, the manipulators offer to exchange or swap your Greenpower for something of purported higher value. Okay, so what he's saying is, people are saying, let me just read that again. He says, where are we? In these schemes, the manipulators offer to exchange. Okay, so you're exchanging one coin to another, or swap. Well, it's the same thing. Okay, you can't swap a token. It's not like what he's just done with this swap. No, what he's really meaning is you can just buy and sell, right? You can exchange one token for another token, right? So he says a couple of these campaigns were manipulated by people who had gained a foothold into the community through exposure on stage at past events. Okay, so what he's actually trying to do is he's trying to put the blame on marketers, leaders within the network marketing industry who just happened to bring millions of dollars into Michael's business. And if it wasn't for these same leaders, he wouldn't have a bloody business, right? So he's now trying to throw those marketers under the bus because they got involved with other projects, right? Which they're entirely entitled to do. This is not this is a publicly traded token, all right? This is not a company, a business. We are not shareholders of a business. We are individual private owners of a token. Just like I own Bitcoin, I own Ethereum, I own Tron, I own Solano, I own VeChain, I own, Dogecoin, XRP. Those are individual tokens, just like Greenpower is, and they can be bought and sold privately, just like anything can be. So he's using this kind of, he's the one who's actually manipulating everybody into thinking that it's other people that are causing damage to the Greenpower brand or business, concept, project, when the reality is it's Michael Mathias who's delivered bugger all right, for the community. He's delivered absolutely nothing. So let's move on. Okay, others have been led by former marketing leaders in the community who have defected to new projects and now seek to poach members. All share the theme of stealing assets from our community through misrepresentation and fraudulent manipulation. Oh my God, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable, guys. The way that this guy words these things, he does it in a way to try and create as much kind of, anger and outrage as possible. He's accusing people of stealing assets. Well, hang on a minute. How can you steal an asset from somebody that's either got it on a wallet or an exchange? Right? Where's the theft taking place? I'd love to know where this is coming from. This guy's mind is just crackers. Fraudulent manipulation. Okay, well, as far as I'm concerned, there's only one person who's fraudulent and manipulating. Okay, he says, we are certainly not the only community to experience this kind of subversive activity. See, he uses these big words, subversive. It's almost like, very political speak. It happens throughout the industry, but since our community is particularly active, quite large and very passionate, it tends to be a popular target. This kind of attack generally follows a 3-step process. Whew! Oh my God. We got 5,000 people. Sorry, we got 3,000 subscribers to this announcement channel, and I'm been in these channels for years. There's literally a few dozen people that ever comment or talk in, communicate in these channels. It's probably one of the least active cryptocurrency channels I've ever been a part of, and 3,000 people. It's pathetic, absolutely pathetic. The guy's on drugs, I'm telling you. Okay, so let's go through these steps. This is getting good, guys. This is fun to go back through these announcements, and you can really show this guy for what he is, a total fraud. Step 1, FUD. Using social media, the manipulators circulate misinformation and fake news about the assets held by the target group in order to create FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. The manipulators blast their invective into the community's various open forums and have even created channels dedicated to specifically spreading FUD and GRN. Okay, that's so funny. Well, the reality is, if there's any fear, FUD being, fear, uncertainty, doubt, FUD being spread, it's pretty much by Michael Mathias himself. The truth is that people that have been following this project for the last 5 years, like myself, who have now decided to make this guy, hold this guy accountable and show him for what he really is, there is good reason for people to be getting annoyed and angry and upset about what has taken place within this community over the past 5 years. When you look at what the guy has spent, He has spent millions on huge events, pop stars, celebrities, massive events all around the world, super yachts. It's crazy, right? It's crazy. The guy has spent an absolute fortune and delivered absolutely nothing. We've got nothing for our money, right? But he's trying to put the blame on other people constantly, always trying to blame somebody else. Okay, let's see. He says, this makes me laugh. Step 2, swap. With the target audience stirred up and made to feel vulnerable from the FUD, the manipulators then offer the group their alternative token, which is usually some kind of dubious ERC20 token. You couldn't make this stuff up, guys. You couldn't make this stuff up. Some dubious ERC20 token. That's what he's literally just done a swap to. Come on, wake up, guys. This is unbelievable. It's hilarious if it wasn't so sad and stupid, right? He says they then hype their tokens, claiming they have much greater value than the worthless assets held by their target group. Of course, the manipulator's token is inevitably either in yet to be launched or if it's trading. Okay, all right, guys, this is hilarious. What has he just done? He's literally created an ERC20 token. He's done the swap, okay? He's then taken our coins and locked them away in a vault that nobody can get hold of. The guy is a fraud, I'm telling you. Oh my God, this speaks, if you cannot see what is going on, then you are completely blind. It's crazy, right? It has been carefully propped up with internal trading, selling from themselves to themselves. Do you know what? That kind of reminds me of the internal trading system that we had with Dascoin when we initially started. If he remembers, he created an exchange on the old Dash wallet, and we were doing internal exchanges. This guy is basically calling everything out that he's already done as fraud. This is unbelievable. This is absolutely unbelievable. Okay, let's see. So then, as the sweetener, they propose a swap. They offer to take your coins, which are currently trading on actual exchanges, and give you 10 or 20 times the value of your coins. Oh my God. Oh my God. This guy is unbelievable. I mean, he's done exactly what he's complaining about. Whew. Oh, well, okay, he says, although it may sound good on the surface, there's a serious flaw. All right. All of that promised value will come to you in the form of the manipulator's newly propped up ERC20 tokens. What a deal. You give them a handful of diamonds and they give you a bucket of rocks. So apparently our new ERC swapped token that's been taken and put in a vault is apparently a bucket of diamonds, a handful of diamonds, right? A handful of diamonds. Whoo! You could not make this stuff up. It's unbelievable. Right. Okay, so let's go to step 3. Here we go. Dump. In the final phase comes the dump. Whenever someone in the community makes that regrettable mistake of accepting a swap, I mean, I was telling everybody, do not accept the swap. Oh my God. This is hilarious, hilarious. The manipulators will proceed to liquidate as much as they can, as fast as they can. They have no interest in creating real value. They just want to quickly and quietly dump. So they dump the coins they acquired from the swap, and they also dump their own flimsy ERC20, which they hold in large quantities and sell off without restrictions whenever they can. He's literally explaining to us, back in the beginning of January, exactly what he intended to do at the end of 2020, all right, and what he's done. And I think it's important actually to just go check out CoinMarketCap for a second here. Let's go check this out. Hang on. CoinMarketCap. Okay. Just wait for this to load up. Oh, wow, this is unbelievable. Come on, just wait for this to go. Okay, come on. Just waiting for this. Okay, so here we are on CoinMarketCap, and this is Greenpower. Okay, so this is our diamond coin, right? This is our diamond coin. I think it's important to just take a look exactly what this diamond coin is trading at, right? And has been trading at. So back in, let's have a look. Back in, that was June 23rd, 2018. Back then, when the price was up around 22 cents, that was me. I bought all of the freaking coins, sold all my Bitcoin and bought them. That was the biggest mistake I ever made in my life. Cost me $1.5 million. That's a big, big, big mistake, right? Still living with that decision. But let's just take a look at what is going on, right? The trading volume in the past 24 hours is $27,000. Okay, $27,000. It's absolutely peanuts. It's worthless. You know, one or two large transactions would crash the price down to virtually nothing. So when he talks about a diamond, it's absolutely ridiculous. The price of Dascoin has never moved. Literally, I mean, it came onto the market back in May, all right, and then it just continued to drop. And then I made the stupid mistake of buying them all based on the big announcement in Barcelona, because I believe we were going to have the launch of the Alliance Pay card. That didn't happen, and then zoom, straight down, 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 down. It's just gone down the entire time, right? It's just gone down, gone down, gone down, gone down, gone down, gone down. Had a little spike here, but you know, the truth is the volume is around 27,000. It's worthless. It's worthless. That doesn't talk to you about a big community. It doesn't mean that there are lots of people interested in buying the coin. It means that there's very little interest and virtually nobody is buying GRN. So let's just get that out of the way. So let's go back to the channel and let's go back to this hilarious story that we've got going on here. So it says, it seems shocking that anyone would be sucked into these swap and dump schemes since they are so obviously deceptive and manipulative. Yet there are plenty of people in our community who have made grave mistakes by accepting such deals. Not only do those who accept those swap and dump offers lose their valuable assets, but they can also cause tremendous damage to the asset they once held, since the coins have effectively been stolen, i.e. they have been acquired at zero cost to the acquirer. They are then dumped on the market at any price, no matter how long. This means that the action of accepting this kind of deal ends up causing damage to that individual who accepts it, as well as everyone else who is holding that particular asset. It's a losing proposition for every legitimate person involved. Guys, this is such a crock of shit. Such a crock of shit. A, he has absolutely no evidence of any kind of swaps taking place like this. There might have been a few people, one or two individuals that might have sold some coins for something else. Big deal. You've only got to look on CoinMarketCap, follow the trend and see that there was virtually nothing being exchanged over the course of the last couple of years. So what he's talking about is absolute rubbish. It's just a way to deflect you from the reality and the fact that he has delivered nothing over that period of time, okay, despite the endless promises. Okay, so he says, protect our community, don't get psychologically hacked. Well, guys, this is the man that's doing the psychological hacking. This guy that's what he's good at. He's not good at anything else. He's only good at psychologically hacking into your brain and making you believe in something that is not actually true. Okay, so he says, please do your part to protect the value held collectively by our community. Do not be fooled by offers to exchange your GRN for the purported higher value of something else. You know what? None of us can do any exchanges now because all of our coins have been locked away for 12 months against our wishes. So let's have a look to see what else he has to say. He carries on. This is all from the same post on the 9th of January. He says, the value in these swap games are always misrepresented by the predators. He loves to use these words, predators. I mean, who are manipulating the game. The value in their offer is never determined by true market dynamics. So it's important to be able to recognize a swap and dump proposition and think before you act. These offers are designed to psychologically hack into the hearts and minds of honest members of our community and steal the valuable assets you hold. So please help protect our community by passing this important information along to those who may be unaware. What he's really doing there is he is psychologically hacking into the minds of members in the group who have no real understanding of this, the history of what's happened with Greenpower, with Dascoin over the last 5 years. He's hacking into the fears of the people that have no real understanding about crypto and blockchain and have just really been brought into this under the misconception that this man was going to deliver something amazing that was going to lift the value of our tokens. And that, of course, he's not done any of that whatsoever. The proof is in the history. You can back test everything, right? So he then goes on to say, and now for good news. As I said previously to the community, 2019 was a very difficult year for many reasons, but one of the main reasons was that the market had to absorb the sell-off of so many of these zero-cost coins. This sell-off started during the second half of 2018 and continued throughout much of 2019. This dynamic has resulted in an absurdly low price for GRN and also created collateral damage within the ecosystem that impeded the progress of a number of initiatives which can drive GRN utility. Okay, so let's break this down a little bit, guys. Come on, this is getting beyond a joke. See, this is coming from a man who understands that most of the people within our community don't understand what's been going on, right? Don't understand the bigger picture about crypto. He says that one of the main reasons was that the market had to absorb the sell-off of so many of these zero-cost coins. Now, it's true to say there are, coins that will never ever aspire to anything. GRN could well be included. Well, it is included in that. But there are literally thousands of new tokens that are being created. There are many, many cases of tokens that have been created in the last couple of years, whilst, coming after Dascoin and GRN, that have gone on to just literally take off and go through the moon, get 1,000% increases, 10,000% increases in some cases. So what he's saying there is absolute garbage. It's completely untrue, and he is, again, manipulating the reason behind why our currency has stagnated for so many years. The truth is, the reason our coin has stagnated is not because of fraudulent activity from a few individuals. Okay, it's because Michael has not delivered on any of his promises. He hasn't delivered a platform that gives value to anybody. He's not created a situation where people could come and look at our platform and say, yeah, I want a piece of that. He hasn't done any marketing. He's done no social media engagement. He's done no events. He's done absolutely nothing for the past 2 years other than blame everybody else for his own failings. It's important that you understand this. Okay, so he says, he goes on to say, let's have a look. This dynamic has resulted in an absurdly low price for GRN and also created collateral damage within the ecosystem that impeded the progress of a number of initiatives which can drive GRN utility. However, an insightful analysis was recently done on the market behavior at exchanges listing GRN. According to this data, there is a strong indication that zero-cost coin sell-off is nearing completion. Provided that members of our community don't create new supplies of these kinds of coins, example by engaging in new swap and dump swindles, it is likely that within the next 45 days, the supply of zero-cost coins in the market will be exhausted. This dynamic alone should cause a significant reversal in trading pressure and a subsequent rise in price of GRN. Now, this is a guy that is educated at Princeton University, and he's trying to say that no more zero-cost coins are going to be brought into the market, as if he somehow knows what other companies are doing. This guy is unbelievable. This guy is a fraud. He has no clue whatsoever about the crypto industry, it seems to me. Or he's deliberately creating a smokescreen for those people within our community that don't understand what's going on in the crypto space. You've only got to read Cointelegraph, look at the news, you know what's happening in the crypto industry. It's all going up. There's a bull market happening right now, and we are not part of it because of Mathias. Okay, let's have a look. What else has he said? Okay. Right. Any delivery of avenues of utility for GRN in the coming months will only increase the magnitude of this reversal. So overall, while the past 18 months have been very difficult to endure, there are clear signs that certain market challenges are coming to an end. The dark clouds are dissipating and a few rays of sunshine are starting to poke through. He then goes on to say, welcome Goku Market. As was recently announced, a new collaborator has joined the ecosystem. Goku Market is a new blockchain-based marketplace that is currently in beta and is scheduled to officially launch in early February. As mentioned earlier, Goku Market will enable you to use your GRN for a growing number of products, including prepaid debit cards. And once Goku Market officially launches, you will be able to spend proceeds and transactions with your GRN wherever MasterCard is accepted, as well as use GRN to buy a range of products and services. A conversion of all of the Success marketing programs, a conversion of the Success marketing program members to Goku Market is currently underway. Fantastic charter member benefits have been offered by Goku Market to those who are fortunate enough to have previously purchased an Success product package. To stay up to date on all the Goku Market developments, please be sure to subscribe to the New Innovations channel. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Products purchasable only with GRN. Global distribution is something that can really drive utility, and whenever products can be offered exclusively for GRN, this will certainly help increase demand and utility. It's important to go on to say, guys, that none of that actually materialized. Yes, Goku Market is an independent exchange doing very well, is being created by a friend of the community who now accepts that everything that Michael Mathias has done is a complete crock of you-know-what, and is now actually more than ever determined to shed light on what's happened to this community and the mismanagement, the fraud, the lies, the deceit that has come from Michael Mathias. We're going to see more about that at some later point. But you can see actually later on in this announcements channel, Michael attacks Goku Market quite viciously and, again, shows his true colors. So that's we're still going. Now, he goes on to talk about, multiple marketplaces. He talks about the DAS market launch has been delayed by negotiations with a collaborative team that is intent on playing a major role in managing the launch and ongoing operations of DAS market. Once launched, DAS market is expected to coexist with Goku market, and both platforms are expected to thrive and drive utility and demand for GRN. We envisage a diverse super ecosystem featuring multiple marketplace offerings, each embodying a different concept, and this includes travel as well. We envision multiple travel providers that will offer our community a wide variety of travel opportunities. In the travel realm, there will be initially 2 concepts, one of which requires a paid membership and to be used, and one which does not. So, he talks about these things that's happening. None of it comes to fruition. Nothing comes of it. There was no DAS market launch. There was no negotiations. It's all absolute nonsense. He says, finally, I'd like to leave you with a parting thought. Oh, I've got to wait. Can't wait for this one. Please stay the course. To all of those who have held on this long, I want to say a sincere thank you. I also want to request that everyone in our community stay strong for just 6 more months. We've been through a lot, especially during the last 18 months. It's been a rough ride at times, but I assure you that now is not the time to give up or turn it off or check out. We're coming out of the woods now. The dynamics are really starting to shift. A lot of positive things are happening. The rain is stopping and the sun is starting to shine. So give us the next 6 months and let us show you all the ways this ecosystem can blossom. Okay, that was January, right? Shall we roll on 6 months later? Let's see. So we'll go on. So, I don't want to spend too long in this video if I can, but I'm getting into it really. I'm really beginning to see what a crock of nonsense we've had, right? This is the 4th of February. He says, got to read this. He says, greetings everyone. Hope your 2020 is off to a fantastic start. This is the start of a series of informative email messages focused on providing information about how we take Greenpower and the ecosystem to the next level. I'll begin with a few facts. Greenpower is the native currency of a blockchain that has been in constant operation since March 31st, 2017 and produces new confirmed block every 3 seconds. Okay, so he's talking about something we've already known about for 3 years. Since its inception, this blockchain has produced over 23 million blocks. Whoopie-doo. By comparison, Bitcoin, which has been producing blocks since 2009, has generated less than 620,000 blocks, or less than 3% the number of blocks created by Greenpower's blockchain. Wow, whoopie-doo. I wonder where Bitcoin is now. Let me see now. Didn't it reach an all-time high of $63,000 or $64,000 recently? Where's Greenpower at this stage? Let me think now. Oh yes, we don't have any of it at the moment because it's locked away for 12 months and it's not doing anything. So he's comparing, this guy is seriously comparing Greenpower to Bitcoin. I mean, how mentally deluded have you got to be? It's unbelievable. And this is from a so-called intelligent man. Oh my God. Okay, so Greenpower trades under GRN and is listed on several global cryptocurrency exchanges. Yes, Greenpower has been ranked among the top 300 cryptocurrencies in the world for the majority of 2019, representing the top 6% of over 5,000 global cryptocurrencies, as listed by CoinMarketCap, a recognized authority in the industry. Whoopie-doo. While many analysts believe that the vast majority of the world's 5,000 cryptocurrencies will weaken over time and eventually disappear during the coming decade, Greenpower has a number of important characteristics that will enable it to endure for many decades to come. Oh my God, I can't think of being in this for another decade. There are about a dozen. There are about a dozen, of course, of the next several weeks. In a series of email messages, I will focus on one important aspect in each message to explain why Greenpower is so well positioned to go the distance and emerge as a very successful cryptocurrency over the long term. There are about a dozen of these topics that I plan to cover, and I will do my best to pair the chosen subject with relevant news or announcements. In this first message, there are a number of important marketing developments to share with the community. So I'll start off focusing on the subject of marketing. Incentivized marketing. Oh, that means affiliate plans. That means making money from Michael Mathias. I'm not going to go into this, guys, because he's just bringing up old ground yet again, okay? And again, just to, give you a heads up, none of it came to fruition, all right? Let's see now. Okay, so let's move on. Let's see if there's anything here. He talks about Goku Market giving increased utility. Didn't happen. Talks about greater demand. No chance. Broader awareness. Nobody is aware of what we're doing. There's no marketing, no social media marketing. So let's move on. He just talks about Goku Market. So let's move on. We're now into February. Is there anything worth talking about here? Just see now. Right. I think what we'll do, guys, is we're going to fast forward over the 6 months. Okay. Fast forward. This is all blah, 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 blah. Nothing whatsoever has happened over this 6 month period. So let's get into, let's have a look. Keep going. All this time, months going by, coins still flatlining, still dead as a doornail. Let's keep going. Talks about progress being made. Nonsense, absolute nonsense. Now I want to get to let's get to the nitty gritty. Let's just read this, okay? Hey, this is the 1st of June. Hey, everybody, things are developing nicely in the ecosystem. Just a few quick updates for the start of the week. First deliveries of Javaka. Okay, so we'll just talk about Javaka crap. So I'm not going to bother with that. Okay. Right, let's move forward. So we've gone from June to, where are we? August. Right, okay. Hey, everyone, please mark this on your calendars. Important GRN webinar coming up in September. So we get that at the end of August, and there's going to be, so he gives us an announcement in August and tells us there's going to be a webinar at the end of September. So let's have a look. So, right, here we go. Here is where the shift happens, right, guys? This is where the shift happens. This is September 29th, 2020, right? This is where Michael Mathias comes out with a series of announcements about GRN and the ecosystem, right? And how we're going to have new group of tokens. And he talks about how we're going to swap for a new ERC20 token. Remember what he said back in January? Let's remind ourselves, shall we? Or go back and look at the video, right? Don't want to waste any more time. So he then talks about this new system, the swap to the ERC20 token. He talks about, let's have a look. I want to try and get something. Here we go. Let's have a look. Green's growth era starts in January. All right. So here we are, January. This is on the 30th of November. I'm going to read this out. He says, as part of GRN's recent transition to the Ethereum ERC20 network, you will start to see many new opportunities for growth becoming available to our community. I have mentioned before that there are already plans underway that will reanimate the licensing model that created strong growth in the early stages of the community. That's scheduled to launch later in 2021, but there's a different and particularly exciting growth opportunity coming to our community in January. So guys, all that he's done is he's now gone right back to the beginning of the early Dascoin days, and he's going to introduce a licensing system in order to suck more money from your pockets and put into Michael's pocket, okay? That's what it's all about. Taking money from us, from the community, and giving it to Michael. So he says, as part of the, I've read that bit. Right, okay, so he says, Javaka, powered by GRN. As many of you already know, our community received early access to an amazing herbal health supplement called Javaka. During the past few months, Javaka has become quite popular, with many people reporting fantastic health benefits. Consequently, the product has been distributed to many countries around the globe. Discounts were offered to early purchasers who used GRN, and the initial distribution network required each super agent to put up a deposit using GRN starting in January. Javaka will be taking things to the next level. Now, it's important to understand here, guys, Michael is the chairman of TRM. That's his employer, okay? He's employed by TRM to sell their products, right? So everything really fundamentally revolves around this Javaka, around TRM health products. And that's what's making him money, right? He's chairman of the company. He doesn't give a shit about the ecosystem or the community. He only cares about selling product, right? That's it. That's all his focus is on, okay? He says, announcing the introduction of a cooperative marketing program for distributing Javaka throughout every country in the world. It's called Javaka Synergy. So he ropes in a load of the people from the community to become Javaka distributors. So he's moved from promoting the ecosystem to bringing in affiliates to go out and make him more money through sales of his TRM products, right? He says, Javaka will help build GRN. As the GRN community helps to build this global Javaka network, Javaka Synergy will be using 5% of its monthly revenue to make, buy and burn purchases of the PowerDAO token, which is the governance token of GRN, launching in the first half of 2021. Whoa, this is sickening. So anyway, he goes on to talk about this whole concept of the GRN, the PowerDAO, and blah, 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 blah. Okay, so he then goes on, let's see, that is, when was this done? 5th of December. Gives us an important update on the swap process, talks about the swap. You know, he just goes on about this journey of our community. He doesn't talk about everything in the past that he hasn't delivered. He just washes over it. He just doesn't talk about it. So he keep going. He talks about decentralized, autonomous organization, DAOs represent an inclusive, transparent, and global model for human coordination. Oh God. So guys, I want to get right to the nub of everything now, okay? I'm going to just fast forward because all this is just nonsense. It's all bollocks. Excuse my language, all right? I want to get right to the latest post, okay? Because we've gone through all of this, everything that Michael's been talking about for the last 5 years. We get all of this way, okay? We end up with our tokens being swapped to ERC20. We end up with our coins being taken from us, put into a staking platform, and we don't have access to those coins for 12 months. But now here is the real kicker. Here's the kicker. This is to me what indicates that this is the final stage of the end of this whole saga, because Michael knows that he's not delivering anything. All he's delivered to us in all of this time, throughout the last 18 months, is a website called mVault, which is not mobile compatible. It's just basically 3 pages, which is a database, has no functionality whatsoever. It doesn't even have a proper login. And that's the reality. There is no funds available to do anything. He's got all of the funds. He's taken those funds. He's purchased property. He's probably bought into the TRM business. He's probably got investments all over the place. But he doesn't have funds to A, give us our tokens back because of the high fees. And now this is the real change, okay? This is the real change. Let me just get the right, make sure I've got the right date. So this was the 1st of May. I'm going to read this out. Okay, let's read this out. This is the 1st of May. Wishing everyone a pleasant start to the month of May. Now that the swap is completed and the Vault system is launched, we can start to focus on the road ahead of us. Lots of planning to do and many exciting possibilities to discuss. Nonetheless, let's make sure we get through the last of the remaining issues. He never ever tells us what those issues are. The support team has been working hard and are nearly there, but are still waiting on responses from several community members. Please check for communications from the team. Also, if you have an unresolved issue regarding the swap, please be sure to send an email to support@GRN. If you have an issue regarding your mVault account, please send to support. mVault access method. As you know, mVault uses a convenient passwordless access system. While the system is super simple and has operated consistently for the vast majority of our community, for about 2 weeks, there are several accounts that continue to experience difficulties with the password system. Unfortunately, it has actually caused enough issues that a transition to a more traditional method of online access is now warranted and will happen over the next several weeks. The new access method will consist of the following: a login with a password, a one-time password, OTP. Guys, these are basic things a 5-year-old can implement. An option to add an alternative email address for woohoo! We can have an alternative email address. Big things are happening for the GRN community. Wow! We get to log in with a password. We get to have 2-factor authentication. And we have a alternative email address. Wow, this is amazing. All those millions and millions and millions of dollars that Michael's had in his possession. And they've come up with that. It's pretty good, eh? Okay, so let's move on. We've almost come to the end now, guys, okay? Thanks for being patient and sticking with this. I appreciate it. He says, our multi-wallet future. mVault is a hybrid vault system designed to facilitate both off-chain and on-chain interactions. It is also intended that mVault will be one of the easiest ways for a person to establish best practices for their personal wallet protocol. mVault's hybrid system will be an easy onboarding portal where each member can establish a browser-based wallet as well as a cold storage wallet to securely operate in our upcoming Web3 future. Each of us will be well served with the following wallet array. We're going to have a hybrid Vault account, a browser-based non-custodial wallet, MetaMask. Well, MetaMask is already available, right? So why? A cold storage non-custodial wallet, e.g. Ledger device or paper wallet. Now, let me think. Didn't we used to have all this before in the past? Didn't we have Ledger on? Didn't we have the web wallet? Didn't we have the DAS wallet? Didn't we have the authenticator? Scratch his head. Guys, can you not see what has happened? Can you not see what this guy is doing? Can you not see how this guy has been manipulating everybody for so many years? It's literally unbelievable how people still follow this guy and give this guy any kind of credibility. I don't understand it. Okay, so let's move on. He says, mVault will provide members with helpful information on how to establish each of these types of wallets, as well as the optimal strategy for how to use each. Wow. A proposal system. Expect to see the proposal system live in our mVault account by the end of the month. The system will facilitate the viewing of proposals and track results, as well as the submission of proposals. It will be easy to use and will provide a clear record of the voting on each proposal. Although it's a fairly simple mechanism, this proposal system is very powerful and will have enormous implications for the future of our community. It's truly an exciting development for everyone in our community. Okay. How can you take this seriously? How can you take this seriously? It's unbelievable. Management by DAO. Okay, another reality of the decentralized web is going to be an increase across the board in management by decentralized autonomous organizations. While the Power DAO may be the first DAO you will be an active member of, it will very likely not be the only DAO you'll be engaged with over the coming years. There are incredibly powerful possibilities available through the DAO structures. And now, with your Gov tokens, you will have the opportunity to become thoroughly involved with managing an ecosystem through our Power DAO. Whew, wow. Is that what you signed up for, to become a a manager of an ecosystem? From this point forward, all important decisions related to our ecosystem are in the hands of the community members. So hang on a minute. What's that? So everything that you've been doing for the past 5 years, everything is now being handed over to the community. Okay. Right, fair enough. Right, okay. Right, let's see. So he says, all these important decisions related to our ecosystem are in the hands of the community members. How will this work? First, the process of formally establishing the Power DAO needs to be completed, which will happen within the current month. Upon completion, and I'll remember that, it says happen within the current month. Okay, we're now on the 4th of May, so let's see whether that does actually happen. Upon the completion of the proposal system, voting will begin. The initial focus will be on the structure and rules of the DAO. So we've got to vote on how this DAO that's going to be completed this month is going to be structured, and what the rules will be, right? Once the rules of the DAO are approved, the community will be presented with the first general proposals. Now, what happens if the rules aren't approved? What happens if everybody that can't make a decision? What happens if nobody really likes what the first set of rules is actually going to be like? What if, does anybody seriously believe that whatever Michael decides in terms of the rules is we're going to be able to affect it in any way? Don't be silly. It'll never be transparent. He says roadmap must be approved by DAO. So apparently there's a roadmap, but it has to be approved by the members of the DAO, right? So we have to make the decisions on the roadmap. But at this point, we don't have a roadmap. And every other roadmap that we've had has never, ever been developed or brought to fruition. And there's one really, really important element and aspect to this that I'm going to go over at the very end of this, because we're almost finished now. But I'm going to tell you what it is at the end. He says, okay, he says, roadmap must be approved by DAO. There's been numerous requests within the Telegram channel for a new roadmap for the ecosystem to be published. Yeah, so from about 5 or 6 people that are allowed to actually communicate within the Telegram group out of the 5,000 members that are in there, who pretty much aren't even looking at it at any point. They are the ones asking for the roadmap, apparently. So, productive Telegram discussions. Okay. Right. Sorry. Greenpower. Right. However, these requests reveal a core misunderstanding of the structure of our new reality. Right. Okay. So we've now got to the point where requesting a roadmap, okay, reveals a core misunderstanding of the structure of our new reality. Okay. I love the way that he phrases all this stuff. The recent referendum kicked off an era of community autonomy. That was a referendum that was about as transparent as a window covered in black paint. Okay, we don't know what the voting, what actually happened with those votes. There was no transparency. We were just given the results. Okay, but anyway, apparently, we've got this autonomous era now. So again, all important decisions, and this is especially applicable to all matters relating to the roadmap, of which we haven't seen, all right, must be approved by the community through a successful vote by the DAO. The power and the responsibility are now in the hands of each of you. Here we go, guys. While there are certainly some excellent plans being prepared for presentation to the community, nothing will move forward unless and until it has been approved by our community DAO. So basically what he's saying is, I am now going to shift responsibility and hand it over to the community to make the decisions on the things that I am first of all going to introduce. Apparently he's got these things that he's going to introduce, and obviously other potential projects that members might dream up. Okay, so the responsibility is going to be left to the community according to that. Right, okay, so we're almost done, guys. Let's move on. So where are we? Right, okay. let's start to guide the conversations in this Telegram channel toward discussing the best ways for us to move forward. The days of waiting for the word to be passed down from a higher authority, i.e. Michael Mathias, are now over. Thankfully, the days of community empowerment now are upon us. So he's thanking the fact that he no longer has to make the decisions, right? He's now thanking the fact that he can now shirk off the responsibilities that he's had of not delivering anything for the past 5 years. He says, everyone has an important role to play through the gov that they hold. Apart from all of those people that are banned in the Telegram group, all the people that are actually the ones that have been calling this guy out for years, have been talking about projects and having good ideas. They've all been kicked out, they've all been banned, they've all been muted, they've all been silenced for precisely the reason for coming up with ideas, right? But somehow now Michael's thankful for everyone. Everyone has an important role to play, right? So in addition, everyone should be preparing for the upcoming proposals by discussing potential directions for our ecosystem based on the state of the market. Right, okay, let's break this down. Let's take this word by word, okay? Everyone should be preparing for the upcoming proposals. Okay, so he's got some proposals, all right? And I assume he's got some proposals and other people, all right? By discussing potential directions for our ecosystem. So at the moment then there is no direction because we don't have an actual ecosystem anyway, all right? Based on the state of the market. So based on the market, what is the market? Which market we're talking? We're talking about the overall cryptocurrency market. We're talking about DeFi. What are we talking about here? Nothing ever gets spelled out. Our collective history and our collective strengths. Our collective history is a history of the group giving Michael millions of dollars and one man, Michael, blowing everything. Am I wrong? I don't think so. Okay, he says, let's focus on substantive debate and challenge each other to move the community forward in the most productive and effective manner possible. Again, all the people with the good ideas have been banned, muted, or completely censored. Let's analyze the current situation as a community and discuss ideas about which direction we should go. So he doesn't have any idea about what he wants to do now. He's directionless. He is like a captain steering a boat without a rudder, all right? It's a nightmare. I think this is a healthy process. Too bad we couldn't have done this like 5 years ago. He says, I have very defined ideas. Yeah, we know you have very defined ideas. It's about how much money can you take from this group of individuals, about where we should go, and we'll be presenting these ideas through the DAO's proposal system. However, before that happens, it could be a very productive process for the entire community to discuss the different ideas about how we grow the ecosystem. Does anybody really believe that if Michael Mathias comes up with a proposal, that somehow, if the DAO were to vote against it, that he would allow that to happen? Of course not. It's a nonsense. So here are some themes to guide the discussion. What's the best way our community can participate in the decentralized web? Is the area of marketplace rewards the right focus for our ecosystem? So now he's questioning everything that he's been working towards for the last 2 years. What's the best way to structure a blockchain-based loyalty reward system? He doesn't know that, and that it was his idea in the first place. And he's asking us to do it, people that have no idea what we're talking about. How would this kind of program begin? How would it grow? He's telling us that he doesn't even know how to get it to work and how to grow it. It's pretty freaking obvious, guys. How can our community lead in the area of referral rewards? Now, here we go. This is what he's really after, right? Those juicy referral rewards. What would it look like to be dominant in the realm of decentralized referral rewards? Well, we've talked about this at the beginning of 2020. Nothing happened. How can the strengths of the power chain be advantageous for microtransactions? Well, why did he shift everything to the ERC20 token, which he basically called crap at the beginning of January 2020? And now he's talking about, the power chain. What are prime opportunities for microtransactions within the marketplace? See, at the end of the day, the guy has completely lost the plot. He's basically gone from what was a great idea in 2016, all right, building up a massive network, bringing in and raising millions of dollars through the efforts of the big network marketing leaders that he now basically calls out as troublemakers. And he then blows all of the money on extravagant events, all over the world, basically wasting millions. He then fails to pay for actual utility-driven services that our money was used to create, and he walks away from it. He then comes up with this scheme of Greenpower, runs with it for 2 more years, and now turns around and says, what should we do with it all? And is asking us, the community. And I think the final thing, which is what I mentioned earlier about what I want to say, is where are the funds coming from to develop anything within this project? The guy has no money left. He's either spent it all or he's invested it in his own personal stuff, right? Properties. I understand he's got a few properties. So how is the community going to, one, pay for any of this? Two, where are the smart minds? Where are the brilliant minds that are going to come up with a very unique project that can be built and developed over time that isn't already going to be, frustrated by all of the other competition within the marketplace? So my personal view is, what I think is going to happen is he's going to basically start to put all of the emphasis on the community to come up with ideas, and when we don't come up with ideas and it all goes to rat shit, all starts to fail and collapse, he's then going to blame the community, say he's had enough, he's walking away, he's done his best, he's tried his hardest, but the community failed and let him down, and he's going to disappear into the sunset. That's what I think he's going to try and do. If you think I'm wrong, let me know, drop a comment below, and I hope this, just by reading through the last 12 months of the Greenpower announcement channel, really should waken you up to the absolute, in my opinion, manipulation, fraudulent behavior, the lies, the deceit of what this man, Michael Mathias, has brought to this community. And I think, I'm so sorry that I invested into this project. I'm so sorry that I may have even invited people to come and look at this. Well, I know I did through the affiliate program. I'm sorry for them. Sorry for everybody that's part of this community. But I'm very, really sorry for those people that are still living in hope and believing that this bloke, this Mathias geezer, is going to deliver for them when he's delivered nothing for 5 years and has taken us right back to the beginning all over again, and is now trying to put the blame on everybody else for his failures. So with that, guys, I appreciate you watching. I know it was a long video. If you stuck with it, fair play to you. If you think I'm right, let me know in the comments below. If you want to share this, please feel free to share it and post it all over social media. Let's highlight the fact that this man has driven this project into the ground, ruined the lives of so many people, has lied, cheated, manipulated, and I think is a fraud, a fake, and a narcissist who is really only interested in one person, that's himself. And if you believe that, then, like I say, share this, get this out there to the public, because we need to stop this man and get rid of him altogether. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Have a wonderful day, and see you one day in another video.